that the Long Islands are an uninhabited archipelago often included as part of the new Siberian Islands, lying northeast of Novaya Sibir. Geography. This archipelago consists of Jeanette Island, Henrietta Island, Bennett Island, Vilkitsky Island and Jokov Island. These 5 islands have a total area of 228 square kilometers. Bennett Island is the largest island and it has also the archipelago's highest point at 426 meters. These islands lie around 77 degrees north, are partially covered by glaciers, and rise to peaks. In 1996, the total area of these islands covered by ice caps and glaciers was 80.6 square kilometers. This island group belongs to the Sakha Republic Administrative Division of Russia. Geology. Early Paleozoic, Middle Paleozoic, Cretaceous, and Neogene rocks have been mapped within the Long Islands. The early Paleozoic rocks are Cambrian and Ordovician sedimentary rocks interbedded with minor amounts of limestone. The Middle Paleozoic rocks consist of predominantly folded and faulted basaltic, andesitic, and dioritic volcanoclastic tuffs, lavas, dikes, and sills. Cretaceous rocks are composed of basalts and interbedded argillites, sandstones and minor coals. The youngest rocks exposed within the Long Islands are Neogene basaltic volcanic rocks. Quaternary geology. The Long Islands were once major hills within the Great Arctic Plain that once formed the northern part of late Pleistocene Beringia between Siberia and Alaska during the last glacial maximum. These islands are what remains of about 1.6 million square kilometers of the formerly subaerial Great Arctic Plain that now lies submerged below the Arctic Ocean and East Siberian Sea. At this plain's greatest extent during the last glacial maximum, sea level was 100 to 120 meters below modern sea level and the coastline was located 700 to 1,000 kilometers north of its current position. This plain was neither extensively glaciated during the late Pleistocene nor during the last glacial maximum because it lay in the rain shadow of the northern European ice sheet. The Great Arctic Plain was submerged, except for the New Siberian and other isolated islands, within a relatively short time span of 7,000 years during the early Middle Holocene. During the extremely frigid polar climate of the last glacial maximum, 17,000 to 24,000 BP, small passive ice caps did form on the Long Islands. Fragments of these ice caps are preserved on Jeanette, Henrietta, and Bennett Islands. Traces of former late Vixalian slope and cirque glaciers in the form of buried ground ice deposits are preserved on Jokov Island. History. Jeanette Island, Henrietta Island, and Bennett Island were discovered in 1881 by the ill-fated Jeanette expedition, commanded by Lieutenant Commander George W. DeLong, USN. In August 1901, Russian Arctic ship Zarya headed across the Laptev Sea, searching from the legendary Sannikov Land but was soon blocked by floating pack ice in the New Siberian Islands. During 1902 the attempts to reach Sannikov Land, deemed to be beyond the Long Islands, continued while Zarya was trapped in fast ice. Leaving the ship, Russian Arctic explorer Baron Eduard Toll and 3 companions vanished forever in November 1902 while traveling away from Bennett Island towards the south on loose ice floes. Vilkitsky Island and Jokov Island were discovered by Boris Vilkitsky during the Imperial Russian Arctic Ocean hydrographic expedition he led in 1913 and 1914 respectively. They lie slightly further south, are unglaciated, and are lying. Henrietta was the site of a research station from 1937 to 1963. Sovereignty. Some U.S. individuals assert American ownership of Jeanette, Henrietta and Bennett Islands in the DeLong Group. This assertion is not supported by the U.S. government. Following the discovery in 1881, DeLong claimed these islands for the U.S. and reported to the United States Department of the Navy that a party had landed on Henrietta Island and taken possession. During 1916, the Russian ambassador in London issued an official notice to the effect that the imperial government considered these islands were integral parts of the Russian Empire. This territorial claim was later maintained by the Soviet Union. A resolution of the Alaska State Senate in 1988 supported an American claim to the islands, but during 1994 the Alaska State Supreme Court ruled in Donado v. State of Alaska that Bennett Island, along with several islands, is not part of Alaska. The United States Department of State has asserted that claim has never been made by the United States to any of the islands, and the U.S. recognizes it as Russian territory. Views